The night was silent on the edge of human space. The outpost was small, lonely, and forgotten by most of the galaxy. Ethan, a human explorer, was used to this silence. He had been here for weeks, guarding the border station, waiting for signals that almost never came. The stars outside the window looked cold and endless, but tonight something broke the silence. A strange light appeared in the sky. At first, Ethan thought it was just another star, but then the light grew bigger, brighter, and closer. He stood up quickly, his heart racing. This was no star. It was a ship unlike any human design. Its shape curved like liquid metal, glowing with pale blue fire. The ship landed outside the station without a sound. No alarms rang. No warnings flashed. It was as if the universe itself had allowed it to pass. Ethan grabbed his weapon, though he knew it would not be enough. His hand shook as the airlock opened. The sound of the metal doors echoed through the empty hall. Then she walked in. She was not human. That was clear from the first moment. Her skin shimmered like silver, smooth and almost glowing. Her eyes were deep, endless, like black holes pulling him in. She wore no armor, no weapon, only a thin cloak that moved as if alive. She stopped in front of him and spoke in a calm, cold voice. "Rent me for one night, human." Ethan froze. He thought he had heard wrong. He blinked, staring at her in shock. "What? What did you just say?" "Rent me," she repeated. "One night. That is all I ask." Her voice was strange, soft yet heavy, like music played inside his bones. Ethan felt his throat go dry. He had met traitors, smugglers, even hostile aliens before, but never something like this. "This is a joke, right?" he said, trying to sound brave. "Who sent you? What game is this?" She tilted her head, her dark eyes never blinking. "It is no game. I need you. I choose you." Ethan's finger tightened on his weapon, but he did not fire. He could not. Something in her presence held him still. It was not fear. It was not desire. It was something he could not name. She stepped closer, her silver skin glowing softly in the dim light. "Do not be afraid. It will be only one night, nothing more." Ethan forced a laugh. "Only one night? With an alien who walks into my station, uninvited, and—" He stopped. Her words echoed in his mind. "Rent me. Why him? Why here? Why now?" She looked at him, and for the first time, her voice trembled. "Even if it leaves me pregnant." The words cut through the air like a blade. Ethan's breath caught. "Pregnant? That's impossible. We're not even the same species." Her eyes glowed faintly like stars behind smoke. "Impossible for some. Not for me. My kind was made to survive, to adapt, to bond." Ethan shook his head. "This is insane." He stepped back, but she followed, calm, steady. "Do not run," she said softly. "You are the one. I saw it before I arrived. Your blood, your life, it will join with mine. And once it happens, you cannot escape." Her words sent a chill down his spine. He wanted to shout, to call for help, but no signal worked. The ship had blocked all transmissions. He was truly alone, with her. Ethan's mind raced. Who was she? What did she want? Why him? His heart pounded louder than the silence of the room. He tried to think logically. Why me? There are millions of humans in the galaxy. Why come to this outpost? Why tonight? Her lips curved into something, like a smile, though it held no warmth. Because you were waiting, and because I was sent to you. Sent? By who? Ethan demanded. Her voice dropped lower, almost a whisper. By fate, by need, by the end of my race. We are dying, human, and you are the seed that may save us. The words felt unreal, like a dream he could not wake from. Ethan gripped his weapon tighter, but he could not raise it. Something deep inside him whispered that this was bigger than him, bigger than humanity. He swallowed hard. And what if I refuse? Her eyes narrowed. For the first time, he saw something dangerous in her face. You cannot refuse. Once I have chosen, it is done. Ethan's chest tightened. Fear wrapped around him, but so did curiosity. He had always wanted adventure, always wanted to see something no human had ever seen. But this was beyond anything he had imagined. The alien woman stepped so close he could feel her breath, warm and heavy with the scent of unknown worlds. She leaned forward, her voice softer now, almost gentle. One night, that is all. But if you accept, she paused, her eyes glowing brighter, her words almost like a spell. You will remain with me forever. The silence after her whisper was heavier than any sound Ethan had ever known. He felt the universe holding its breath. He felt the weight of a choice he had not yet made, and deep inside, he knew his life would never be the same again. Ethan did not sleep that night. How could he? The alien woman's words echoed in his head again and again. Rent me for one night, even if it leaves me pregnant. Remain forever. He sat in the control room, staring at the dark window where her ship rested silently outside. She had not moved since their strange meeting. She stood in the corridor like a statue, her black eyes fixed on him whenever he dared to look. Hours passed, but she never blinked, never sat, never spoke. She only waited. Finally, Ethan could not bear the silence. He slammed his hand on the table and stood up. All right, he shouted, his voice shaking. What do you really want from me? Who are you? The woman tilted her head slowly, as if she had been waiting for the question. She walked forward, graceful, almost floating, until she stood only a few steps away. My name is Liara, she said at last. Her voice was softer now, but no less strange. I am the last daughter of the Villari. My people are dying. Our wombs are empty. Our blood is weak. But we were made to survive, to adapt, to find what we need. Ethan frowned. And what you need is me? Her dark eyes shimmered, reflecting the pale glow of the station lights. Yes, you carry the strength we lost, the spark of life. With you, I can create what my people cannot. A child strong enough to keep my race alive. Ethan felt a cold shiver run down his spine. That's insane. We're not even compatible. Humans and aliens, this doesn't happen. It can't happen. Liara stepped closer. It can. My body was built for this. My kind was designed to merge with others, to bond, to create something new. And once the bond begins, there is no undoing it. Ethan tried to laugh, but it came out broken. So you just show up at my station, point at me and say, congratulations, you're the lucky father of the galaxy. For the first time, a small smile touched her lips. It was sharp, cold, but strangely human. Not luck. Choice. I chose you. Ethan swallowed hard. His chest tightened. Why me? Out of millions of humans out there, why me? Liara looked at him with something deeper than her usual coldness. For a moment, her face seemed almost sad. Because you are alone. Because your blood sings in a way others do not. Because you were waiting for something, even if you did not know it. Her words struck him harder than he expected. Alone. Waiting. She was right. He had taken this post because he had no family, no close friends, no one waiting for him back on Earth. He had always told himself it was freedom. But now it felt like emptiness. He shook his head. This doesn't make sense. You're asking me to just give myself to you. For one night, for what? For a child that isn't even human? What happens after that? Liara's gaze deepened and her voice dropped lower. After that, you will not be the same. The bond will remain. You will hear me. Feel me. You will carry part of me. As I will. Carry part of you. We will not be two anymore, we will be one. Ethan's mouth went dry. That's not a bargain, that's a prison. Her eyes flashed with sudden fire. No. It is survival. It is destiny. And it is forever. Ethan felt his heartbeat pounding in his ears. He wanted to refuse, to push her away, to tell her she was crazy. But the way she looked at him, like he was the last hope in the universe, stirred something inside him, something dangerous. He turned away, pacing the room, his thoughts racing. I should report this. I should call command, tell them an alien ship landed here. They'd send a fleet in minutes. Liara's voice cut through his thoughts like a blade. No signal leaves this place. My ship has blocked your transmissions. You cannot call for help. Ethan spun around. So I'm trapped? She stepped closer, her silver skin glowing faintly in the dim light. Not trapped, chosen. Ethan gritted his teeth. You keep saying that. Chosen. Why do I feel like I'm just prey? Liara's voice softened again, like velvet over steel. Because you are afraid. Fear blinds you to what you could be. Do you not see? One night with me and you will never be forgotten. You will live forever in the child we create. You will be more than human, you will be eternal. Her words sank deep into him, pulling at his thoughts, his doubts, his secret wishes. Eternal, more than human. The promise burned like fire and froze like ice at the same time. He whispered, almost to himself. This sounds like a curse. Liara leaned closer, her face inches from his. Or a gift. But gifts must be taken willingly. This is the bargain, Ethan. One night, and your life is no longer yours alone. Refuse. And I will find another. Accept. And you will remain with me forever. The silence that followed was crushing. Ethan could hear only his heartbeat and the faint hum of the alien ship outside. He wanted to say no. He wanted to push her away. But part of him, small, hidden, desperate, was tempted. He looked into her black eyes, endless and strange, and felt the weight of the choice pressing down on him. And for the first time he wondered if destiny had already been written. The moment she walked through his door, the night stretched long, heavy with silence. Ethan sat alone in the control chair, his mind torn in a storm of doubt and fear. Liara's words would not leave him. One night, one bond, forever. He told himself it was madness. He told himself no sane man would agree. Yet when he looked at her standing calm and still in the corridor, he felt something pulling at him. Something he could not explain. Finally, as if pulled by invisible strings, Ethan rose to his feet. His voice was low, almost broken. All right, one night, but no tricks, no lies. Liara's dark eyes softened, just a little. She bowed her head once, almost like a queen accepting an oath. It will be enough. She led him to her ship. The walls inside glowed like living skin, warm and pulsing with a faint rhythm, like the heartbeat of some giant creature. Ethan felt uneasy, but also strangely calm, as if the ship itself whispered to him. In the center chamber, she stopped. Her cloak fell away, revealing her silver skin fully. Strange markings shimmered across her body, glowing brighter with every breath she took. She raised her hands and thin streams of light curled from her fingers, weaving into shapes that floated in the air, symbols of her people, memories of her world. Do not be afraid, she said. This is not flesh joining flesh. This is spirit joining spirit. This is how the Velari bond. Ethan's throat went dry. What do I have to do? Liara stepped closer, her voice soft. Only accept. Only open yourself. I will do the rest. He wanted to run. His instincts screamed danger. But another voice, quieter, deeper, told him to stay. Slowly, he nodded. Liara touched his chest with her palm. At first, her skin felt cold, but then warmth spread through him, like fire and light rushing into his veins. Ethan gasped, clutching her wrist, but he could not pull away. The chamber brightened. The walls pulsed faster, matching the rhythm of his heartbeat. Ethan's mind spun, and then suddenly, he was no longer in the ship. Visions exploded in front of his eyes. He saw a great city made of crystal towers, rising above oceans that glowed with silver light. He saw beings like Liara, tall and beautiful, walking with grace. Then he saw fire, war. The towers fell. The oceans turned black. One by one, her people collapsed, their bodies turning to dust. He staggered, clutching his head. What is this? Liara's voice whispered inside his mind, though her lips did not move. My memories, my world, my pain. Now you see why I came. Tears burned his eyes. He had never felt sorrow like this, not even his own. It was as if her grief had been poured straight into his soul. Then the vision shifted. He saw her alone, standing in endless darkness, her hands empty, her womb barren. He felt her despair, her loneliness, her hunger for survival. And then he saw himself, not as he was, but as she saw him, his face glowing with light, his blood alive with power, his body carrying the answer she had sought across the stars. Ethan gasped, falling to his knees. This is too much. Liara knelt before him, her hand still on his chest. No, this is only the beginning. You are bound now. Do you feel it? He did. His heartbeat was no longer his alone. He could feel hers echoing in his chest, strong and steady. His thoughts were no longer his own. They brushed against hers, tasting her fears, her hopes, her secrets. Ethan trembled. I can hear you. Inside me. Liara nodded slowly. As I hear you. This is the connection. It cannot be broken. Panic clawed at him. He tried to push her hand away, but his body refused. I didn't agree to. This much. You said one night. Her eyes burned with strange light. And one night was enough. The bond is sealed. You are part of me now, as I am part of you. Ethan staggered to his feet, his legs weak. His skin tingled, his blood felt hot, his senses sharper. He could hear the hum of the ship as if it were breathing. He could smell the faint trace of her silver skin as though it were carved into his memory. What have you done to me? He whispered. Liara stood, her expression unreadable. I have given you truth. I have given you more than human life, and soon you will understand what forever means. Ethan pressed his hands to his face, trying to think, trying to breathe. But then he froze. A sound. Soft. Rhythmic. Not his own heartbeat. Not hers. Something new. He lowered his hands slowly, his eyes wide. What is that sound? Liara's gaze met his, steady and certain. She placed her hand gently on her stomach, and a faint glow spread under her skin. The beginning, she whispered. Ethan stumbled back, his chest tight. The sound grew louder inside his mind. A third heartbeat. His voice broke as he whispered, No. That's impossible. Liara's silver eyes glowed brighter than ever. It is already done. You are no longer one nor two. We are three, and nothing in the universe will separate us now. The chamber fell silent again, but Ethan could still hear it. The tiny, fragile heartbeat of something new. Something that would change everything. And in that moment, Ethan understood. His life was no longer his own. Ethan woke up on the floor of the alien ship. His body felt heavy, but not with pain. Something else. Something alive. The room was quiet, but he could still hear it. That soft rhythm. The heartbeat that was not his. The sound followed him even when he closed his ears, echoing inside his skull like a whisper he could never escape. Slowly, he pushed himself up. His hands shook. His skin burned with a strange heat, as if fire lived under it. He caught his reflection on the silver wall of the chamber and froze. His eyes. They were still human. But faint streaks of silver glowed around the iris, thin lines, like cracks of light. He stumbled back, breathing hard. What's happening to me? Liara stood in the shadows, calm and still as always. But now her dark eyes carried something new. Satisfaction. "You are changing," she said softly. "The bond is working. My blood flows with yours now." Ethan's heart pounded. "No, this isn't what I agreed to. I didn't agree to—" Her voice cut through him like a knife. "You did. You accepted. And now you cannot turn back." Ethan shook his head. He stumbled out of the chamber back toward the station, needing air, needing distance. But when he reached the corridor, his legs gave out. He crashed to his knees, clutching his chest. Images flashed in his mind, not his own memories. Hers. He saw strange skies, twin suns burning red and white. He smelled alien flowers that released smoke instead of scent. He heard the cries of dying Velari children, their bodies fading like dust in the wind. He shouted, trying to push the visions away, but they did not stop. They poured into him like water flooding a drowning man. Then, suddenly, he felt her. Not just her memories, her thoughts, her emotions, her voice inside his head. "Breathe. Do not resist. If you fight the bond, it will destroy you." Ethan gasped, pressing his hands against the floor. "Get out of my head." But she did not leave. Her presence wrapped around his mind like chains of silk, soft but unbreakable. "You belong to me now," Liara whispered inside him. "And I to you. We are one life, one breath, one fate." Ethan pushed himself up, fury burning through his fear. He staggered back into the control room, his vision sharp, his movements faster than before. He slammed his fist against the steel, only to watch the metal dent under his strike. He froze. Slowly, he lifted his hand. No blood, no pain, just strength. His chest tightened. "No. This isn't me. This isn't human." Liara appeared in the doorway, her silver skin glowing softly in the dim light. "No. It is more. You are not only human anymore. You are Velari now as well." Ethan stared at her, his voice trembling. "You're turning me into one of you." Her expression was calm, but her eyes burned with something fierce. Not one of us. Something greater. Something between. The bridge. Ethan shook his head violently. "I don't want this. I didn't ask for this." Liara stepped forward, her voice lower, almost gentle. "You think it was chance?" "No. It was need. You were chosen because you carry what we lost. You are the key. Without you, I would die. Without you, my people would vanish forever." Her words struck him like thunder. He wanted to fight them, but the truth was already burning inside his veins. He could feel her life tied to his. When she breathed, his lungs answered. When her heart raced, his chest quickened. They were bound. Suddenly, alarms rang through the station. Red lights flashed, breaking the silence. Ethan staggered to the console, his fingers moving without thought. The screen lit up with human signals. A patrol ship was approaching. His blood turned cold. If they found Liara here, they would arrest her, or worse. He turned to her, panic in his eyes. "You have to leave. If they see you—" Liara shook her head. "I cannot leave. Not now. Not while the bond is fresh. If I go, you will die." Ethan's chest tightened. "Then what do we do?" Her gaze locked onto his. "We hide, or we fight." Ethan's stomach dropped. He looked at his hands again, remembering how the steel wall bent under his fist. For the first time, he realized the truth. He was no longer helpless. He was no longer only human. The patrol ship's signal grew stronger. Time was running out. Ethan felt the third heartbeat again, faint but steady. It reminded him that it wasn't just about him anymore. Something new, something fragile was depending on him. His voice came out rough, shaking with fear and anger. "I didn't ask for this, but if you've tied me to your fate, then I'll survive it. No matter what." Liara's lips curved into a faint smile, sharp and cold. Good. Then you are ready for what comes next. The station trembled as the human patrol ship docked. Ethan's hands clenched into fists. He no longer knew who he was or what he was becoming. But he knew one thing. Nothing in his life would ever be human again. The docking bay shook as the human patrol ship connected to the outpost. Metal clanged, doors hissed, and heavy boots echoed through the corridor. Ethan stood frozen, his fists clenched, his heart pounding with 3 rhythms at once, his own, Liara's, and the faint unborn one. He turned to her. You have to stay hidden. If they find you, they'll kill you. Liara's silver eyes did not blink. If they find me, they will kill you as well. The bond has made us one. Do you not understand? If they take me away, you will not survive. The doors opened. 3 armored soldiers stepped inside, their rifles raised. Their leader's voice rang out sharp and commanding. Ethan Cole, step away from the alien. Ethan's stomach dropped. They already knew. Somehow they had tracked her ship. Somehow they knew she was here. He raised his hand slowly. Wait, listen. But the soldier cut him off. That creature is dangerous. Stand down and let us handle it. Liara stepped forward, calm, her cloak shimmering like liquid. The soldiers tensed, their fingers tightening on their triggers. Do not harm her, Ethan shouted. She's not here to fight, the leader's visor glared at him. Then why is she with you? Why is your signal scrambled? Why are you glowing like that? Ethan froze. Glowing? He looked down at his hands and his breath caught. Thin silver lines pulsed under his skin, faint but visible, like veins filled with light. The soldiers saw it too. One muttered under his breath. He's infected. Ethan's chest tightened. He wanted to explain, but words felt useless. The soldiers would never understand. Then everything happened at once. The leader raised his rifle. Liara's eyes flared with light. Ethan felt her fear, sharp, raw, pulling at his own heart. The soldier fired, but Ethan moved. He didn't think. His body reacted on its own. His arm shot out faster than human speed and caught the blast in midair. The energy burned against his palm, but instead of tearing through him, it spread across, his skin like sparks dying in water. The soldiers froze in shock. Ethan stared at his hand, trembling. What am I? Liara's voice whispered inside his mind, stronger, faster, more. The soldiers recovered and fired again. Ethan moved without thought, his body twisting, faster than bullets, faster than blasts. He knocked one soldier back with a single strike, sending him crashing into the wall. Another tried to grab him, but Ethan's fist met his chest plate, and the metal cracked like paper. The leader shouted into his comms. Command! We need backup, he's compromised. Ethan grabbed the rifle from the soldier's hands and bent it in half like it was nothing. His breathing was heavy, his vision sharp, his body burning with power he didn't understand. Then silence. Only the leader remained standing, his weapon shaking in his hands. Ethan stepped forward. Don't. Please. I don't want to hurt you. But Liara's voice whispered in his mind again. They will never let us live. If you spare them, they will return with more. Ethan's jaw tightened. The leader's finger trembled on the trigger. For a moment, the air froze between them. Then Ethan struck, not with his fists, but with his voice. Go. Leave now. Tell your command nothing. The soldier's helmet reflected Ethan's glowing eyes. His hand shook, then slowly lowered the weapon. Without another word, he pulled his fallen men and retreated to the patrol ship. The bay went silent. Ethan stood trembling, his fists clenched, his skin still glowing faintly with silver light. He turned to Liara, anger and fear burning in his eyes. They'll be back. They'll bring more. You've put a target on me. On us. Liara stepped closer, her voice calm, almost proud. They fear you now. They see what you are becoming. You cannot go back to them, Ethan. They will never accept you. His voice broke. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want to fight them. Her eyes locked onto his, steady and cold. But you did fight them, and you won. That is what matters. That is survival. Ethan pressed his hands to his face, his breathing ragged. He could still feel the soldiers' fear, the heat of their weapons, the strength in his own hands. It terrified him. It thrilled him. Outside, the patrol ship pulled away, its engines burning into the darkness. But Ethan knew it was only the beginning. The signal had already gone out. More ships would come. More soldiers. He looked at Liara. "We have to run." She nodded slowly. "Yes, but not just from them. My people will come too. They will sense the bond. They will not let me go." Ethan's stomach twisted. "So humans will hunt me. Aliens will hunt me. Where does that leave us?" Liara's silver eyes glowed faintly. "In between. Alone. Together." The words sank heavy in his chest. He felt the faint third heartbeat again, fragile but steady, reminding him of the truth. It was no longer just about him, or even her. It was about what they had created. Ethan's voice was low, rough. "Then we run. We hide. Whatever it takes. I'll keep us alive." Liara stepped close, her hand brushing against his cheek. Her touch was cool, but her words burned like fire. "And I will keep you strong. This is only the beginning, Ethan. The pursuit has started, and it will not end until all of humanity and all of Velari knows what we have done." The bay lights flickered, the outpost groaned under the weight of silence, and Ethan knew the truth. His life was no longer his own. He was being hunted by two worlds, and there was no turning back. The outpost drifted in silence after the patrol ship left. The air felt heavier than before, thick with secrets and fear. Ethan stood at the window, staring into the endless stars. His hands still trembled from the fight. His veins still glowed faintly with silver light. Behind him, Liara's footsteps were soft, almost soundless. Yet he felt her before he heard her. He could sense her presence now, tied to him like a shadow that never left. "You saved us," she said quietly. Ethan's jaw tightened. "I didn't save us, I just delayed the end. They'll come back, more soldiers, more guns, they'll keep coming until we're dead." Liara moved closer. "Unless we move first, unless we show them what we are." He spun around, his voice sharp. "What we are? I don't even know what I am anymore. Look at me, my body is changing, my mind isn't even my own. You're inside my head every second, and now there's—" He stopped, his throat tight. "There's something else inside me too. That heartbeat. That child." Liara's dark eyes glimmered. She placed her hand gently over her stomach, where the faint glow pulsed. "Yes, our child. The first of its kind. Human and Velari. Something greater than both." Ethan shook his head. "Why me? Out of billions of humans in the galaxy. Why me?" For the first time since he met her, Liara's face softened, her cold mask breaking just enough to reveal pain. "Because you are not ordinary. You are not just human, Ethan." His breath caught. "What do you mean?" She stepped closer, her silver skin shimmering like starlight. "Long ago, before your kind walked on two legs, the Velari came to your world. We gave pieces of ourselves to the soil, to the rivers, to the blood of early humans. Seeds of survival. That is why your species rose so fast, so strong. We left, behind fragments of our essence, hoping one day it would bloom again." Ethan felt his knees weaken. "Are you saying humans are part Velari?" Liara nodded slowly. "Most humans carry only shadows of it, silent pieces asleep in their blood. But you—" Her eyes locked onto his, deep and unblinking. "You carry more. Your blood sings louder than any I have ever felt. You are the echo of what we lost, the bridge between us." Ethan staggered back, his chest tight. His whole life he had felt different, isolated, restless, searching for something he could never name. Now, hearing her words, a terrible thought struck him. Maybe he had always been waiting for this moment. "No," he whispered. "That can't be true." Liara's voice lowered, heavy with certainty. "It is true. That is why I chose you. Not chance, not accident, destiny. Without you, my race dies. With you, we live again. Ethan pressed his hands against his head, his thoughts racing. So all of this, the visions, the bond, the changes, it's because of what's in me. Something I never knew I had? Yes, Liara said. And now it has awakened. The child growing inside me carries both our worlds. Human will and Valerie strength. Flesh of survival. Blood of destiny. Her words cut through him like a blade. He turned away, staring at the window again. You're saying our child isn't just a child, it's a weapon, a symbol, a reason for war. Liara's silence was answer enough. Ethan's stomach twisted. He imagined fleets of human warships hunting them, governments calling him a traitor, an alien's puppet. He imagined Valari ships demanding his surrender, claiming his blood as their property. He whispered, "They'll kill us. Both sides. Humans won't accept this. Aliens won't either." Liara stepped beside him, her gaze steady on the stars. That is why we must protect the child. Because both sides will fear it. And what they fear, they will try to destroy. Ethan clenched, his fists. His reflection in the glass looked strange now. Part human, part something else, silver light glowing faintly under his skin. He barely recognized himself. But what if they're right? He asked bitterly. What if this thing we've made is too dangerous? What if it tears both our worlds apart? Liara's hand touched his shoulder, cool and firm. Or what if it saves them? What if it is the bridge that ends the war before it begins? That is the choice, Ethan. That is why we must survive long enough to prove it. The third heartbeat echoed softly inside him again. Fragile, innocent, real. He closed his eyes, breathing slowly. For the first time, he felt not just fear, but something else. Responsibility. He whispered, "So it's not about me anymore." Liara's voice was soft, almost human. No, it never was. It is about what comes after us. The station lights flickered suddenly. Alarms buzzed. Ethan snapped his eyes open. A warning flashed across the console. Multiple ships incoming. Not human this time. Alien signatures. Liara's eyes darkened. They are here. My people. Ethan's chest tightened. Your people. They'll take you away. They'll take the child. What happens? To me then? Her voice trembled for the first time. If they take me, you die. The bond cannot be broken. Ethan's blood ran cold. He looked at her, his voice sharp with panic. Then we run. Now. Before they get here. Liara's gaze stayed on the flashing console, her expression unreadable. There is no running from them, Ethan. They have already found us. The station shuddered as shadows passed over the windows, massive alien ships, sleek and silent, blocking out the stars. And in that moment, Ethan realized the truth. He wasn't just hunted by humans anymore. He was hunted by an entire dying race, desperate to claim what he carried. The child, the bridge, the future. The outpost shook as the alien fleet surrounded it. Their ships glowed with pale light, curved like blades against the stars. Ethan stood at the window, his fists clenched, his chest tight with 3 heartbeats pounding inside him. Behind him, Liara's face was calm, but her eyes were dark with worry. They have come for me, she whispered, for us. They will not leave without the child. Ethan turned sharply. They can't take it, they can't take you. If they do... His voice broke, his hand pressing against his chest. I die. Isn't that what you said? Liara nodded slowly. Yes. But to them, that does not matter. To them, I am not a mother. I am a vessel. You are not a man. You are a source. And the child is hope for our entire race. Ethan's stomach twisted. Hope? Or a prize? Before she could answer, the airlock doors groaned. A bright light poured in, and tall figures entered. Valari soldiers, their silver armor shining. Like living flame, their black eyes fixed on Liara. The leader stepped forward. His voice was deep, echoing in the chamber without sound. Daughter of Velari, you have done what was forbidden. You bonded with an outsider. Liara lifted her chin. I did what was needed. Our race is dying. The humans carry what we lost. This bond was the only way. The leader's gaze shifted to Ethan. His black eyes burned with disgust. This human is unworthy. He must be cut from you before the bond spreads further. Ethan's heart pounded. He felt Liara's fear, mixing with his own. He stepped forward, his voice rough but steady. I'm not letting you take her, or the child. If you want them, you'll have to kill me. The soldiers raised their weapons. Liara spread her arms, silver light glowing along her skin. If he dies, I die. If I die, the child dies. Is that what you want? The last chance for Velari, lost forever? The leader hesitated. Silence fell over the chamber, heavy as stone. Then another sound filled the air. Loud, harsh, mechanical. Ethan's blood turned cold. The humans had arrived. Through the window, dozens of human warships broke from hyperspace, their cannons glowing with deadly energy. The outpost trembled under the weight of two fleets, Velari and human, staring each other down. Ethan whispered, No, not both at once. The human commander's voice thundered through the speakers. Ethan Cole, surrender. The alien, surrender the hybrid, do so now or we fire. Liara's voice echoed inside Ethan's mind. Both sides will destroy us, unless you choose. He spun toward her. Choose? Choose what? Her silver eyes glowed, fierce and unyielding. Choose us. Choose survival. Stand between them and show them what we are. Ethan's chest burned with fire. His body pulsed with alien strength. His veins glowing brighter, his vision sharper than ever. He felt Liara's heartbeat, her fear, her strength. He felt the faint flutter of the third heartbeat, fragile but steady. He stepped forward, his voice shaking the chamber. No one takes her. No one takes the child. If you fire on me. And if you kill me, you lose everything. The Velari leader's eyes narrowed. The human commander's silence was heavy. For one long moment, the universe itself seemed to hold its breath. Then Ethan raised his glowing hands. You wanted war? Then war ends here. Not with ships, not with guns, but with what we've made. The silver light from his veins spread outward, filling the chamber with a blinding glow. Both fleets froze as their sensors screamed with unknown signals. Energy pulsed from Ethan's body, reaching into space, touching every ship. On the human screens, his voice thundered. We are more than human. On the Velari ships, his voice echoed. We are more than Velari. To fight us is to fight the future itself. Liara's hand gripped his tightly, her silver light joining his glow. Together they shone brighter, their bond burning across the stars. For the first time, both sides hesitated. Weapons lowered. Engines dimmed. The silence stretched. Ethan's strength faltered, but he stood tall. This child is not a weapon, not a curse, it is a bridge, and you will not destroy it, not while I breathe. The third heartbeat echoed louder inside him like an answer. Strong, alive, real. Liara whispered into his mind, soft but certain. Remain forever. Ethan closed his eyes. He knew there was no going back. He had made his choice. He had chosen her. He had chosen the child. He had chosen a future neither side wanted, but both needed. The chamber was silent, the fleets frozen, the universe waiting. And Ethan whispered, So be it. The screen of stars filled with light. But whether it was the light of hope or the fire of war, no one could yet tell.